Welcome to Spotlight TV. I'm your host, Emily Zubi, and we have an exciting guest for you today. We have Suheyl Hernandez, who is Executive Director and founder of Phantom Real Estate. She's an author. You're going to hear about her book and her concept. And when I tell you she is dynamic, creative, full of energy, and so excited to have you. You were at our caviar and champagne event, and you and your husband, you have quite the story. So welcome to Spotlight.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And, it's actually an honor to be here with you today.
Oh, it's wonderful. So let's start with your story, because you were telling me you even met your husband.
Yes.
In real estate.
So when I was younger, I didn't want to go to college, right? So I wanted to have a career that I didn't have to go to college. So someone that I've known for a very long time, she told me, go to real estate school. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to real estate school, right? Because she had the car that I wanted to drive. So that got me to go to real estate school. And there I met my husband. I was 19 years old when I met him. So we met in Gold Coast on Sunset, where it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, that's where we met.
I know that. I remember that office. A big shout out.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
Oh, he would have loved to be here, but he had to stay behind today. And so little by little, we started doing real estate. I would always help him. So we also have a beautiful family. We have 3 kids. We have yours, mine, and ours, but we've been together for 23 years, so they're all our children. So as we got together, it was hard because he had his daughter and I had my daughter. So, and they were exactly 3 years apart, but 1 day apart. So one is the 9th and one is the 10th.
Wow.
So that was a little difficult. And then after that, we had our son, Mikey. And for years, we were just doing real estate and everything else. And we bumped into one of our friends, Marlene Gonzalez, and she told us, why don't you guys open up a franchise under a company that we were with? So Mike came up to me and said, oh, what do you think about this? And I said, I think it's a great idea. I think it's time for us, you're not going to be an agent anymore. Now you're going to have a brokerage. So we did that. And we started with one agent. When I'll be happy to say that she is still with us today.
Wow.
11 years later. And we were with him for a very long time. So we were under a franchise. He was under another franchise. And then he decided to go on his own. And we decided to stay with him. So we have a nice relationship. I am very grateful to him for everything that I have learned and for everything that he helped us accomplish. But like about 2 years ago, actually exactly 2 years ago, something minimal happened. And when that something minimal happened, I picked up the phone and I called Mike. And I said, Soler, we are going on our own. And he said, I am not up for your craziness. You're always
I
inventing.
can picture him saying it.
Yeah, like you're always inventing. You need to remember, I am 11 years older than you. You need to stop. You're driving me crazy already. And I said, listen, this is what it is. That's it. The time has come for us to spread our wings and fly, and the time has come. So he tells me, when do you plan to do this by? And I said, well, our Christmas event. What do you mean? So we're in October, that's in December. And I said, listen, let's be honest and realistic. We cannot afford to have a Christmas event and 2 months later do a lunch event. Like, that's not feasible. It's not smart. And, we cannot do that. He goes, you cannot do this in 2 months, Suheyl. And I said, remember who your wife is. Do not underestimate me, Soler. So he goes, I'll call you back. So he literally hangs up on me, right? And I'm like, okay. Now he's pushing me even harder. Now I really got to do this because, hey, now you're doubting me here, So we didn't even know what name to pick. And the story of the name is actually he picked it. But even before that, the first thing I did was I grabbed our roster. We had 135 agents at the time. I grabbed our roster and I said, so I don't want a surprise for anyone. I like to be very upfront and I want to make sure that everyone wants to transition with me. So I am personally going to get on that phone, and I am going to call one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Took me 3 days. And those were the most 3 emotional days ever. When I called, everyone would tell me, I am so happy for you guys. I am so proud of you. You don't need to explain anything to me. Wherever you go, we go. So
Nice.
we had 135 agents at the time, and 132 stayed with us.
That's amazing. I mean, that's incredible, especially in this industry, because let's just say that, you hear a lot of stories.
Oh, yeah.
So that I commend you on that. Congratulations, because that's no easy feat. So that tells me a lot about who you are.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I felt honored. Like, there were 3, I would cry. Like, I wouldn't even wear makeup anymore because I just knew that my days were going to be, and we were scared. We were scared for a lot of reasons. Number one, you lose 40%, 35 to 40% of your agents typically when you rebrand, especially when you just completely go on your own. Because even though the office always belonged to us, the broker was someone else. So it could have been interpreted as, oh, can they do this on their own? Can they afford to do this on their own? What's the name going to be like? What are the services going to be like? So it was really scary. And he told me when I got home, he said, are you sure you want to do this? And I said, yes, I'm sure. You know why? Because I think it's time for us to leave our own legacy for our children, not somebody else's. And again, he's great and very grateful to him, but that's his, and now it's our turn. So there came the battle and the craziness.
And how'd the name come about?
Okay. So when we were looking for the name, Mike was looking for the name. Everything that we would come across, like, we couldn't use it. And our accountant would tell us, no, don't do this, don't do that. So Mike loves to watch educational shows. And he was watching a show from the Rolls Royce, right? So he's the one that knows who was the rich and who was the poor. I don't know that part. So the story comes from one was wealthy and the other one didn't have any money. So he picked up parts until he made that car, which today is one of the most luxurious cars that most people like and most people would like to have. So his concept behind this was, so with perseverance, confidence, having faith in the Lord, and pushing yourself, you can do anything that you put your mind to in life.
I mean, I don't call them goosebumps. I call them God bumps, because I love to hear stories like that. And now, and I mean, it's so funny because we were at the Out of Foster event, and
Correct.
And we were sharing, and I didn't get to ask you how you got the name, but what a powerful story.
He came into my office, right? And he said, I got the name. I said, what is it? Phantom Real Estate. And I go, Phantom? He goes, yeah. I go, where'd you come up with this? So he tells me, listen, babe, because I was watching and I was like, oh, yes, that's the name. You got this. We're definitely going to name it that. And it's true, because what most people don't know is that when that office opened, it was the worst part of our lives. Like, when I tell you that we had literally hit rock bottom and we were putting everything that we had, every hope, every prayer into that office, I kid you not. Like, you cannot even begin to imagine. And little by little, phone call by phone call. So Mike got 100 agents in there in the first year. And there was no CRM. There was no fancy call logs or anything like that. It was pick up the phone with his lists, which he's not too big on technology, right? So he loves to keep
Paperless?
Yeah, he's not paperless at all. You tell him, where's your iPad? He shows you a piece of paper, a notebook. So he still has like the pack of papers, of all the agents that he called. So it was one by one into that office. And I mean, it was hard. And a couple of years after, my children's godmother, she's the one that was there with us, helping us run the company. So she got sick with breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I didn't know how to teach. Like, teaching wasn't my thing. I didn't know how to go back there. But now I see myself with no one because she was in her therapies and everything else. And as you can understand, she fell into a really bad depression and she literally didn't want to work, which I completely understood her. So at that point, it was my turn to pick up the slack and start going back there and start teaching. So we had nobody. I had a little table with an office phone. So while I would teach, we had a small conference table to fit 6 people. I would have to pause sometimes so I can answer the phone. Right? So it was difficult. And then little by little, one by one, you know, these agents started coming in. And it's not in a real estate office. It is a family. And when you go in there, the energy that you feel, it's something different. It's, they love each other. I have people that have moved. I have people that live in Tampa, people that live in Cape Coral, Mount Dora.
Wow.
And Lehigh. I have one that came Friday. I hadn't seen her like in 2 years, but they will not leave the company.
That's that is leadership at play.
Thank you.
Attrition equals, I mean, tell me how good a leader you are, and I'll show you why people don't leave and follow you anywhere. And that's such a great example of that. I want to talk more about the teaching because I did training and development on Wall Street at Goldman Sachs, and I would teach the M&A presentation skills and sales skills. And it's really funny because the minute we got them in front of a video camera, their confidence went away because they had they could see themselves, right? So what do you think is the biggest tool that you use when you're teaching those, especially those that are coming into the business early on?
So I'll tell you something. When I teach and I have a camera in front of me, I panic. Okay? Because I also recorded some courses, it's been very hard. Very hard. I'm a little bit, I'm not behind. I'm right where the Lord wants me to be right now, but I'm a little bit behind because I do panic when I have a camera in front of me. However, when I teach my agents, I give them every single piece of knowledge that I have, and I do it with confidence, with lots of confidence. I constantly educate myself. There's times that I wish I could be somewhere else, and I'm sitting in the office on the weekends preparing myself so I can go out there and prepare them. And they know that. And they know that what I don't know, if I don't know something, I won't go around it. I will be direct, and I will tell them, I'm going to speak to an attorney, and I'm going to get you the answer. So my confidence and the way that I address the situations and I help them, that's what gets me.
That's the best teaching of all, is to treat it like a conversation, right? And to teach it like you're saying, I don't know, and to admit that you don't know is the most powerful thing that you can do. Because when you start flying off and making up, people can read that and know that. And not only that, you open yourself up to so much liability, especially when it comes to real estate finances, all the same thing. I mean, heavily regulated, and you've got to make sure that you have, and with the laws that change, have the right answer for the right time and represent that information. And to be able to tell a new agent that you know what, when you don't know, admit you don't know, but that you'll get back to them, because the worst thing, where I've seen, ones get in trouble is just when they think well, I don't know, but I don't want to look like I don't know. So let me make up something on the spot.
So I'll tell you a little bit of how our brokerage runs. So because of that, because it cost us so much hard work, so many tears, and so many sleepless nights, our brokerages ran a little different than all the others. And everything that goes through our brokerage gets checked by one of us or one of our teams. So unless like you're just like already 100% professional, you know what you're doing, and you've been doing this for some years, every single contract to lease, listing agreement, everything goes through one of us before it gets signed and executed.
Excellent.
So yeah, I have that system.
Quality control that
which we are humans, we can make mistakes. I'm not saying that we're perfect, but I say 4 eyes see more than 2. So every time, we use the systems that we use are pretty robust. So they create their transactions, and I tell them, you do the best that you can. When that is completed, you submit that for review, and you please give us a 1.5 to 2 hour time frame, and we will get back to you. So we check our submitted for review documents all day long, and we check it for them. We correct them.
I love that. I love that. The 4 eyes. I mean, I have a great team now, and one of the things I always tell them is just, check. Yeah, don't assume. Like, because a lot of times I'll either dictate or, with my vocal cord condition, sometimes it'll say something else than what it hears it or whatever translates. Siri doesn't understand me sometimes, so I tell my assistant, if it doesn't look right, but I need 4 eyes. Don't depend on my 2 or my 1 voice. I manage upwards, and I love having women around me, and my team's all female, and same thing with the person who works on digital. I mean, I tell her, come up with ideas and come to me with them, and I really encourage that. But also, don't question me if something doesn't sound right, or you think like, don't just do it because Emily says. That's the last thing that I want. So I love to hear that.
That's leadership, and actually that's how I run my team. So I have an amazing team. A lot of young girls, actually. A lot of young girls. I am very, very, very proud of them. One that's been with me for like a year and something, I've seen her grow like to another level. Her personality, the way that she goes about everything, I tell her, my love, you've come just a long way, a very, very, very long way. And I have a great team, and I always tell them, guys, I'm here, I'm open to suggestions. I would like for you guys to suggest. You guys are younger, there's technology. What videos would you like for me to do? What do you opinionate? Do you think that there's something that we can better? And I think that that's good, because there's a big problem when you think that you're perfect and that you know it all. And I think that also helps a lot in the business.
Well, you have a vibe about you, and we have a lot of friends in common. I mean, Jackie Ceballos from Pedal Cartel.
I love her.
Who connected us, and we saw each other at a Call to Lead with Sandy Glenn, and I love Jessica Cristobal and that whole Kelly Rauch. I mean, all of them. I mean,
they're great.
They're wonderful, and I love connecting with so many women. I mean, that was a great day. The Call to Lead was a really great program, and you've been involved with that for some time.
Yes, I have. I am actually part of Sandy's community. She's been my coach. Very grateful. Very grateful. She's taught me a lot.
Let's talk about your book.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the name is right up my alley. I mean, I'm all about leadership. I'm in my legacy era, so I want to know about Built for Legacy.
So, I've always said one thing. Everybody says, I want to live to be 100 years old. And I've always said, I don't want to live to be 100 years old. I want to live with a purpose. I want to change people's lives. And I believe that I came to this life for that. I believe that I can help people, and that I was brought to this world to leave a legacy for my family to be proud of who their mom was and what her mom was capable of doing. And that no matter how bad I have fallen in the past, how I've known how to get back up and keep fighting. So when the book came about, I started writing that book again 11 years ago in the worst part of my life. And I thought I was never going to be able to bring it live. And I finally did. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And
it's no easy thing. It's everyone. I always say this. We all have a book inside us.
Yeah.
And, I know that feeling. I mean, I have several books. I mean, now we just publish our a coffee table book of Rockstar Leaders, which everyone's probably sick of hearing about now. But I have 2 more books in the works, and one of them I have been working on literally, 10 years at the pain point. And the hardest time of my life. And it's been the hardest one to finish because of that, because it really brings up a lot of stuff. And I say, why haven't I gotten it done? Why? I know why I haven't gotten it done.
It's hard, and sometimes, and again, book 2 will come out. But that book was really hard for me to write.
So give us a little bit of a snippet of what I know. It's available for sale on Amazon.
Yes, it is.
But
it's available.
Give us a little snippet about what we'll find in Built for Legacy.
So you'll find some of my story, how I started, from selling Avon to flowers in Cuban supermarkets. That's how I started as a little entrepreneur when I was 12 years old. And you'll know some of my life, how we built our brokerage. There's some blueprint in there and what people can do. And what I like about my book the most, and I wish you would know me a little bit better, and I am so sorry I didn't bring you a copy. I've just been overwhelmed. I have to bring you a copy of that. When you read it, you feel me. Like, the words are mine. So it's like you live me through the book. And a lot of people that know me that have read the book, and a lot of women say that it's very inspiring. I actually had a realtor that hadn't been coming around for like 3 years, and she read the book and she's back active. So
nice. Very
happy. Yeah, she actually won, I did a raffle, and she won 1 free power hour with me in my coaching. So we're doing that as well.
So awesome. So what is your secret sauce? If you were to say one ingredient that, would sum up that, it's your book and many things in your coaching and so forth, but what would you say is your secret sauce?
Showing up, being present, being honest, straightforward, and transparency. Like, with me, what you see is what you get. And I might tell you something you don't like, but that's just who I am. And that's another reason why my agents are with me, because they know that I'm going to tell them how it is. And if they don't like me, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your coach. I'm here to be your leader. I'm here to help you make a career. And yeah, some of my coaching people sometimes get mad at me, but hey, that's my job.
That's great. You really remind me. I mean, when I almost picture that, selling the flowers and selling. I mean, I learned sales, and I don't share this often, but I learned sales through my mom, because she was an insurance agent for John Hancock. And on Saturday mornings, and I was literally like 13, 14, and she'd give me a stack of 50 cards and say, call these people and get an appointment for next week. I didn't know it was for insurance. She never told me that. She said, just get an appointment. And I said, what did they ask me what it's for? Just say 5 minutes can change your life. And I got really good at that script. I got quick at getting off the phone, but that is where I learned how to cold call, and the best experience of my life. Like little did I know what the thing that I dreaded when I was a teenager, because I can imagine those moments where you're selling flowers, or you say to yourself, like, what am I doing here? And then later on in life, you look back and, that young being that said, I'm going to do this and can do it, is that strong woman I see in front of me today that says, not only can I do it, but I'm going to teach others how to do it.
I love to teach others how to do it. Just another one of my coaching services, I also help broker associates that are ready to open up a brokerage, just like mine. I help them with that, help them with the whole process. And I also give them my blueprint. They're going to run it their way. I run it mine, but I'm going to tell them how I run it. I give my curriculums. I give my signature boot camp, which was created by me from point A to point Z, how to cold call, scripts, how to properly fill out a contract, listing agreements. Like, that's it's like a little secret sauce that we have at Phantom Real Estate. It was page by page created by me. So I also do that. That's one of my coaching programs.
So that blueprint, really save someone a lot of time and a lot of energy and mistakes and money, because doing any of these things the wrong way. So that blueprint, you've copyrighted it, you have it all there, you have it in your book, and then not only do they read the book, but then they go to you and get the step by step.
And
coaching.
again, I don't leave anything behind. Like I don't have any secrets on what I do, because I think that everybody has the right to shine. And when they ask me what's my biggest joy, it's not the money part, it's the part of seeing people succeed, because that gives me joy. It gives me like, wow, I helped that person get there. And that to me is priceless.
What's you don't have to obviously tell us who and what or the name of their brokerage, but what would be that one success story that makes you the most proud of someone that you took from point A to point Z?
I actually have I have three people that I can mention, which they're actually in the book. And one is a young gentleman that's 22 years old. His name is Andy Fuentes. He came from Cuba with nothing, nobody, and he's killing it. I have somebody else, which these two women I get to call my friends. And one of them is Glennie. Glennie used to knock on doors with a little book bag and sell perfumes and purses and clothes. Today, she's one of my top producing agents. Super proud of her. She goes from Homestead to Tampa to Orlando. Like, there's no stopping her. And I taught her, I grabbed her in the beginning. Most of my agents have started with me since the beginning.
Love it.
And I have another one. She didn't start with me from the beginning. She started at another brokerage. She didn't know anything. She came over. Her name is Maritza Miller. I have no words to describe her either. And
love it.
I'm telling you, she doesn't say no to anything. It doesn't matter if you're asking her to list or rent an efficiency. She'll do it. And again, she's another one. Homestead, Tampa, Orlando, Cape Coral, like, she's unstoppable.
Someone who's hungry, who's a hunter, very important skill. We have a couple minutes left, so this is your time to give your commercial and tell everyone if they want to work with you, they want that blueprint, they need that book, how to reach you.
All right, so you guys can reach me at SuheylHernandez.com. That's my website. You can see all the services that I offer on there. You can follow me on social media. My Instagram is Suheyl14. And you can also follow Phantom Real Estate. I give you all those services. My book is available on Amazon. Soon we will have our ebooks available and our courses. You'll also be able to join our community. And again, if you want to work with me, you can also DM me or fill out the form in my website. And I am completely bilingual, so I do both. I do English and Spanish, so it doesn't matter which one you speak. I'm here to service you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being on Spotlight TV. You are an inspiration, and I loved hearing more of your story. And I look forward to reading the book.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean,
thank you.
It is an honor to sit here with someone like yourself. Like,
oh, thank you.
You're just an inspiration, someone I look up to, and when I grow up, I want to be like you.
Thank you.
That is an honor. It really, really, really is.
Thank you.
To meet amazing women like you.
Thank you so much. Well, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I want to remind you that there are a lot of great charities. We have an event with Mayor Francis Suarez this weekend and have some of the honorees. Also, our coffee table book is available at Books and Books, and a portion of the proceeds is going to Pink Luminous Advocacy Project. I sit on their board. It is led by the amazing Marilyn Dans, and she is a rock star. And just want to remind you that, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's a little, whatever you can give to support these charities. You know, in her case, you know, they don't spend any money on, you know, salaries or anything like that. So, you know, I love being a part of that. Thank you for joining us on Spotlight TV. We will see you next week. And thank you to the producers and to Michael and to Grant here at Community Newspapers. We're so proud to be a part partner and to have this wonderful team produce our show. We'll see you next week on Spotlight TV.